Alright, welcome back to nothingness. It's interesting. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Hey, welcome back to the project. What is going on here? This is marathon vlog number 10. And we're here with what seems to be a video on today's remaining tasks at the end of the day. It is the end of the day, which is actually the afternoon. My days end around noon, around like 2 p.m. At least for now. So what we're going to do right now is just cover all the stuff that has to be covered, because this is material that I had wanted to cover due to it being a part of our duty and project obligations, as well as content that was sort of a recap of things that we had done in a previous far away year relating to investments. It's pretty exciting, but I'm glad to say that at least I'm a little more down tempo than I was when I first did videos about 12 hours ago on investments, because I was really quite excited. No regrets about that. We'll get to that in a moment. So first, what we have here is on the left hand panel, okay, you can see story blocks, and story blocks through on behalf of Hawks Publishing, that's a double A in there, HAAWK, has licensed free to use content over to Clipchamp. So choose a plan to start creating better video faster than ever for individuals, for businesses. And here are some of the plans. So let's just maximize for a moment. Starter, unlimited, all access, and pro. 19 or 20, 40, and $50 access. And then this is a monthly, of course. You have some HD footage, music, and photo vector illustrations built for month-end basis. The second plan has unlimited downloads, so HD footage, 4K footage. And then the final one has what else it has? Cancel anytime, individual license included, access to Movie Maker Pro, Storybox plugin for Adobe Creative Cloud enhanced. Interesting. Seems that just for this they would charge you almost double. No, it's just for $10 more. My bad. So anyways, of course I don't plan on buying this. I don't have any need to purchase anything like this. Here are the features, right? But the reason why I showed up here is because, of course, this is something that, and then they have for business, scalable plans and tools, clear-cut licensing, business licensing. I showed up here because there was a review, and that review is from this site right next to it. So why don't we go ahead and just chop over to the side. Right here, content reviews. Shoot, never mind. I made a mistake. Right here. Download all royalty free photos, illustrations, and so on and so forth. what is Storyblocks used for? Is it any good? Is it royalty free? All these FAQs by searching on Google. Again, I use 2 search engines now because one, Bing has AI. We'll get to that in a moment. Well, we just continue. Pixabay, Wikipedia, Storyblocks. So I clicked on this link here. Okay. And here is sites, Google. Storyblock Review 2023 is legit as it was price and the experience of the author. And as featured on ABC, NBC, Fox, Telemundo, blah. Okay, seems like every content creator these days has a subscription to Storyblocks, so it's one of the leading stock media. Talk about the pricing, pros, cons, discuss the key features. And this person has been a member of Storyblocks Video, which originally Storyblocks was called Video Blocks before converting over to Storyblocks as its rebranding. At the time it was just for video, but now it's become comprehensive for audio, visual, video, photographs, all sorts of different things now. And I remember that reading through this article, you can see here that there's a pricing change for Storyblocks recently that has prompted the author of this review to take back her recommendation or his recommendation of Storyblocks to Envato Unlimited instead, because the pricing no longer includes license for you to use. So that's very sad, and that is reflective of the fact that we just were at a tab that showed only business plans will allow you commercial usage or so on and so forth. And close this now, I think. So, where were we? Why do we show up to Storyblocks? So we have more music. I realized that we would like to use. In the previous couple videos, I mentioned somewhere in one of them that I was using mostly lo-fi beat in London, like the one we have here, and another beat having to do with Tetris Arcade, and that was by Quinton Johnson. Mostly basically 3 to 4 tracks that I selected would be mostly used to comprise the video edits that I would pump out through Clipchamp and then post onto YouTube. Funny thing is, I was wrong. There's actually probably about 6 to 7 tracks, so I've added maybe 3 more to the repertoire of things I may use once in a while, occasionally, and actually quite frequently depending on the style of content. So in that case, I had to search up more of the authors again. I want to again give proper credit, and I can't do this in YouTube videos because the description is just too short. There's a 5,000 character limit, and I just am not concise enough to fit everything within the 5,000 character limit. Here's such a mess. But what I can say, well, this isn't any better, but geez, I don't know. What I can say, I believe to be better anyways. I don't know what this is. What is this? What the hell is this? Oh, jeez. Yeah, just leave it. What I can say is better. I can say is better. Doesn't make a lot of sense. We have 3 songs that we need to add, and we went out and found the authors. Okay, so that's what I can say. And the first one is actually one that I had already chosen from previously, and it's called Lo-Fi Beat in London. Let's play it right now, sample. It's quite repetitive. That's alright, because honestly I was only going to play this as a background song. So it's something that I would turn down the volume by almost 1,000%. It'd be brought down to only 5% of its volume. But I want to credit the author. Oh, what I was going to say is right, yes. So on YouTube videos, I can't put more than 5,000 characters. Right, so I can't credit too many people because there's a limit to my description. Otherwise, I'll just start cutting other pieces of my description out. The hair is really frustrating. There we go. But on Patreon, I can fully credit all the authors, all the creators. So that's really why I'm searching all the authors out, because I really want to credit them on Patreon, especially where people may pay, if they do, to get access to my content. It only makes sense that I feel I want to provide as much optimal content as I can to the viewers there. In which case, it's like, why don't I just show you my creative process and the songs that I pick? That sounds more, it's just me adding more value to the package. I think that's fair. Someone's going to pay for stuff, right? So that's kind of an insider perspective of my creative content, right? Of the things I'm producing. So that's why I wanted to find the names here. Just let them know, hey, these are the tracks I'm using. Wow, the hair's looking a lot better now. Okay, I could have just done it so much easier if I had just not screwed around at the beginning. Okay. You know, this reminds me of, it was like Hawks from FMA, Full Metal Alchemist. Alright. Type, music, BPM, beats per minute. So they have all the descriptions down here. Here's a good sample. And the author is Gushito, but of course that's an alias, a moniker, just like Roy Rushev-Zhirovsky and Nanro are my alias. But the full name is Kamil Grzynski, which is looks like a Polish name of some sort. I love those kind of the ZCs. And have you ever seen a name as creative as have a SZCZY all together, stitched together? Beautiful. I love it. Have a real love for these like Polish kind of names and Slavic names. Get access to a huge library of stock footage, music, After Effects, images, sound, and so on, blah. And then of course there had to be a chat box called Christian asking me about, well, obviously Christian's probably like the CEO or something, and then create a chat box and mock him. Great stuff. You can see there's a bunch of other songs here, but some of these are not free. Very loud. Got toned down the volume. So we can close that. Okay, by the way, the reason why some of these tabs are open, we might as well just cover now. Patreon has to stay because I'm going to upload to Patreon a bunch of different videos, clearly, but I have to sort out the titles first. This isn't even a permanent title here. This is not really a good title, guys. It's just a bunch of terms stitched back to back. Once again, it's very hard. These are more like podcast titles than they are video titles. No one's actually gonna feel like they want to click on something like this. It's just an amalgamation of many different little things, different topics, unrelated, it seems. It would seem, at least. Not very eye-catchy. But back to story blocks. Okay, here's a demonstration of me searching for that. I sought out for the lo-fi beats in London, wanted to find the author, and you can see here that each of these pieces has the genre, the atmosphere, the download link, the time stamp, and then of course the author, which is missing from Clipchamp. You can't find the author through Clipchamp. So for example, right here, here's my editing. If I go back to home, or just stay here actually, let's just go to music and SFX, sound effects. You can see that no matter what I decide to do, and I look at the tracks, Autumn Dunes, it will not tell me. If I click on it, it does not tell me who the author is. It just says it's provided by Storyblocks, which is not quite enough for me. So I'm going to minimize that. So there you have it. That's why we're here, and we sought out lo-fi beats in London. Gushito, Ren Kid, Simon Sharp. Right, if you guys ever want to look for free music tracks, just come here. Well, they're not free, of course, but it's all right. Okay, more from story blocks. There's 2 tabs. We're about to finish this up. I really want to know the author of this one. By the way, interesting here. I didn't realize you can go to Royal Free Music. The navigation bar pulls down, and you can see these great moods: epic, dark. Epic is like cinematic, happy, inspiring, love, playful, relaxing, sad, and serious. You got the genres: ambient, blue, bumpers, stingers, chill out, cinematic, classical, hip hop, horror, jazz, kids, pop, R&B, electronic, folk, rock, religious instruments, brass, guitar, orchestra, percussive, piano, synth, woodwind. Anyway, it's back on track. This one I really appreciate, so let's play the song. It's not a song, it's more like an effect, but it's like a song effect, and it's my favorite by far. It's a building crescendo of string arpeggios. I'm pretty sure I used crescendo the wrong way, but it's like a rising crescendo. It's like constantly building and increasing in tension, and it's fantastic. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm such a sucker for violins, right? So that's something that probably is who is it? Vivaldi and the Four Seasons, Winter especially. It used to be one of my favorite classical music tracks. Okay. So this is from Boris Skalski. And Boris Skalski, thank you for creating this amazing track that I try to integrate quite often into my videos. Thank you so much. Ooh, Making a Villain. Serious, dark, classical, and cinematic. Dramatic strings. I can see the similarities. Add in a bass there, probably a cello. So that's from Boris Skalski. Jellyfish. So what's going on here? So I wanted to just basically see if I create an account after the pricing. And of course, surely enough, if you want to do that, you can create an account, email, password, agree to terms. I wasn't going to do it because, create your free account, organize your favorite assets into folders. There is some utility. Share your folders with your team or clients and download the watermarked previews to try in your project. Create videos in minutes with Maker. So you get access to the video editor. No credit card required. That's actually very helpful, very nice. But of course, it's just a marketing ploy still. Nevertheless, you'll get bombarded with ads and prompts that you should basically join their payment plan, I'm sure. And it's not particularly useful if I get to download watermark previews, because what use is a preview that lasts 30 seconds, right? Unless you happen to be someone who actually can make use of that. And last but not least, here it is. This is how we started off searching for story blocks. Lo-fi beat in London, Gushito release date. We couldn't find a release date. Lo-fi beats in London, blah-de-da. And in fact, this is not the original author, but someone who kind of ripped off the song, put it on YouTube and said, hey, this is my song. Yeah. So that's it. Very few results. I couldn't find the release date. In fact, turns out all these things, maybe Gushito is already just part of story blocks. Can't release it as his own song. It's all right. Okay, so moving on, we got Snoopy Dog right here. We're back to the Patreon. Like I said, there's a reason to keep this open. I need Patreon to upload my videos. Then we have the Bing AI for search, and we have sites at Google here. Google reviews, I suppose. Oh no, this site is created from Google. Okay, very nice, interesting, but not really my cup of tea. Okay. So the remaining tabs, it seems here, are mostly for administrative stuff. I kept this tab out here probably to just, why did I keep it here? I'm almost a little confused. Not sure why I decided to keep this tab here. I don't know. It's basically my own channel, but I already have a tab for that on the other space, so I can close this. I forgot why. I think there was a comment. It's probably a comment. Right, there was a video here that I commented on. The very sad reality of being a Sigma male. I think it's very memeable. That's mostly why I watched it. But there are some people who take this stuff really seriously. So many think they are SMs, but I doubt they would know anything about being disappointed. First of all, I don't really believe in the whole Sigma male thing. It's more like a meme to me, like I say. But you'll see soon my comments to this person who takes it a little bit more seriously, but I can respect that. In fact, I think many things he's talking about make sense, but just not through the perspective of defined male types, right? I don't think that's really a thing. Okay, so many think they're SMs, but I doubt they know anything about being disappointed when no one can meet their high standards you set for everyone you meet. That's just being a bit entitled and having expectations that you should not have. I would consider that to be a behavior that needs remedying. The agony of dealing with everyone who lacks logic and common sense, that's a bit arrogant, but it's not so much that they lack logic and common sense, it's that they don't really necessarily need to care so much or take things so seriously. However, there are a lot of people who do lack it, and I recognize that if, quote unquote, you're SM, then for sure, or someone who shares these sorts of traits, take things more seriously, you'll get upset, for sure. Because you take things seriously and you want things to be right and accurate and precise. And a lot of people are just not like that. Waking up in the middle of the night or not being able to sleep because your brain has problems to figure out first. That's very relatable. All of these were relatable to me at one point, but again, I see that as being behaviors that were a result of my trauma. Repeated trauma, and we'll get to that in my comment. There was a point in my time where I identified with these, right? And I felt, oh, Sigma male could be a legitimate thing. Not anymore. Not being mentally present, like this is just insomnia, my guy, because you had a very difficult upbringing, most likely. Not being mentally present or able to fully enjoy outings and dates because you're hypervigilant and analyzing everything. That is definitely not normal. So you have to just drink to calm your mind. That's just coping. That's copium right there. That's heavy copium, right? And this here is a result of most likely post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, the hypervigilance. And the analytical mind is you overcompensating by trying to, introspect. You dive into your head to escape, or not escape, sometimes escaping, that is a bit insulting. You're trying to solve a problem by thinking things through. But thoughts do not always solve the problems. In fact, the best way to solve problems, depending on the type of problems they are, oftentimes is just to take action physically. You become so focused on goals, you're willing to put them above your loved ones. That's just misprioritization. I do this all the time. I know all about it, and I know that it's not functional. And I know why it is that I do this. You cut out good people from your life because they make one small mistake. I used to do that. I kind of do that now. But actually, a lot of people do this, and that's not just relatable to me. It's because as people get older and more experienced, their patience runs thin because they have been betrayed, frustrated, and hurt so many times that they lose patience. That's all there is to it. After the 100th time, you become disillusioned. After the 1000th time, you become numb. And then after the 100,000th time, which is probably what happens by the time you're age 55 or so on and so forth, or if you have experienced too much traumatic tragedy and catastrophe at an earlier age, maybe by the age of even 20, you'll start to experience not just disillusionment or going numb, but at the very end of it is impatience and intolerance, and you won't be willing to put forth any more good faith. Okay, and then at the very end, or believing most people, even loved ones, are dumb because they just don't catch on to things as fast as you, or can't see things you see. Again, that's a very similar thing. So if we want to read this entire thing, I doubt, all in one chain, I doubt they know anything about being disappointed when not meeting the standards, the agony of dealing with unrelaxed logic, common sense, waking in the middle of the night, not being able to sleep because of brain problems, figuring things out first, not being mentally present, able to enjoy outings or dates because hypervigilant, analyzing, and blah blah. It's a pretty long, comprehensive list, all of which were very relatable. Being SM has been just as much as a curse as a blessing. I agree. Except, as I say here, right, it's in my title. Not sure if you just have detrimentally high IQ or a difficult past leading to CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, because both of which also lead to the same SM nuances. So one is a detrimentally high IQ. This can be as a result of crystallized IQ from developmental trauma, but it can just be because you literally are just born with a high IQ, and then you will have all these symptoms for sure. Okay. And then another one is developmental trauma leading to you to have all these same symptoms once again. And then if you want to take a third approach, which is truly just a genetic sort of classification, I suppose, you could say high expectations, trust issues, and hypervigilance once again. Just if you believe in the concept of sigma male, fine. Same thing. So expectations, trust issues, hypervigilance, reservedness from social disappointment, and so on and so forth. So then again, I'm sure all these three concepts are not mutually exclusive, so they can overlap, assuming that SM is itself even a credible concept to begin with, which I'm skeptical. That's my skeptical. That's me being skeptical, but it's not criticism. So food for thought, I have to say, but not criticism. All three could be correlated, but I'm not going to dive into this further because it's just not worthwhile. There was a time I might have. Again, there was a time when I was more analytical, when I was more stuck into my traumatic ways. I still am to a degree, but this project is really helping me now that I'm doing. There has been a lot of professional help that's helped me to get to this point, anyways. Agreed. And then so this guy here, Nicholas, feel bad for you. All these years I've been misunderstood by everyone. I get it. I get it. This still happens to me to this day. I found out with the subject of Sigma males. I'm 100% Sigma. All the videos I've watched have shown me to be the traits of Sigma. I have all the good ones and all the bad ones. These videos show me for truly. Okay, sure. Sure. Fair enough. And it's good to. I don't mind that we have different notions about what the causes might be, because it's a fun discussion, and the most important thing is that I found people who can relate, and I guess that's something that this tab was useful for. We got more tabs here. So what else happened? Well, what I noticed is after the restart and updating of the operating system on Windows 11, lo and behold, I didn't cover this, but now there's a side tab to the Microsoft Edge browser. You can see it right here. If I maximize it, due to the fact that I've cropped out the video to a certain size, you can't actually make it out, but you can see right here. It's beautiful. On the right hand side, that basically is the icon for a really nice icon. Man, look at this. It's so modern and technologically advanced. It's got textures, right? So this is the Bing chat icon, and if you hover over it, it pops up, and then you can see this tone of responses preview. More creative, more balanced, or more precise, and get the best experience with relevant responses. Allow Microsoft to access your browser web content to enable chat about your web page. Obviously, this is like data sharing. I'm not particularly keen on that. You can turn it on or you can say no. It's okay, they give you an option. The sidebar has other things too that I'm not so fond of. Search, which is fine, but shopping is not fine. Tools, I'm wondering what that is. Games, tools, calculator, interesting, useful, translator. We can maximize this now. I don't know if I want to maximize it. By the way, they've also, with the update, look at how smooth this is. It's simplistic. When you expand, you contract, right? Look how smooth it is. Beautiful. So then you have games. You've got tools like calculator, the time, the dictionary. I'm looking forward to what kind of games they have here. You got Crunker, Mahjong, that's a Chinese one. Peg ball, that sounds kind of odd. Domino Black, nothing here that interests me. Moving on, these are like board games anyways. Microsoft 365. Okay, so this one is something that's important. So I always have on my navigation bar, stabbed to the left hand side before this update, was basically the Microsoft Suite. So what's happened is, I guess they've moved it from the left hand side to the right hand side. On the left hand side of my Microsoft Edge sidebar before, the previous version, was all of this. Microsoft Home, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneDrive, Teams, and more. And now it's on the right, and you can see my documents listed here. Great. A lot of them, of course, I just named after codified numbers. Each number represents a certain topic or a certain format or type of information. So it's quite vague and you won't be able to understand, which is good actually for the purposes of this video. I could go to Outlook. I'm interested here. Why do I click on it? Can they really show me my email in a little sidebar tab? They can. Okay, so there's a lot of spam mail here, by the way, which is good because they don't really want to show you that much. Okay. And finally, there's Drop, which is a new service apparently, where you can send files and notes across your mobile and PC devices. So basically, it allows you to sync everything all together. If I press start, I wonder what happens. To send your first note or file, just type the button down and drag the files over here. Type in the message below. Write a note to yourself. Super interesting. And then you can have settings down here. You gotta auto hide the sidebar. I don't want to auto hide it, especially if it has like all the office stuff here. And you can go to settings, and that's exactly what was led here. So this is the settings page that is led to if you click the gear icon down there. Super interesting. I'm gonna close this now. Because we can always come back here from the side. Last but not least, okay, we have tabs for the news, local news. CP24, City Pulse 24, that's what it stands for. I remember back in the day, their logo was actually City Pulse, but now it's just CP. CP9, CP0, CP0, One Piece, okay. We got 5-day broadcast, we have the time, we have the weather. Like I said today, very rainy this morning, kept me from leaving the house actually, amongst other things that also kept me in. Mostly just not making things in time. morning, afternoon, and what prompted me to stay here aside from the weather. So you can check the wind speeds, the temperatures, -30 in Churchill, incredible. Okay, is this. So there on the side there was a tab talking about how the Russian government, the Kremlin was supposed to be rewarding people who had shot down a U.S. drone, apparently. Russia to award pilots involved in the U.S. drone incident. Okay, so Russian fighter pilots involved in an incident with a U.S. drone that resulted in a crash will be given state awards. Imagine being that petty. But the thing is, it's not just pettiness, it's actually an incentive to do damage to other nations' assets. So it's a warfare, basically. Intention to adopt a more aggressive stance. So I don't know how petty it is, if it's actually going to be something that's effective. The U.S. ditched the Air Force MQ-9 Reaper in the Black Sea on Tuesday after a pair of Russian fighter jets dumped fuel on it. This is pretty disrespectful. You know what I mean? So you're just pissing on it, and then you light your piss on fire. Struck its propeller. I know, I'm being very, yeah, whatever, who cares. Moscow has denied that warplanes hit the drone. They deny everything. They're just, that's just what it is, just politics. They're not even they don't even care that it's obvious that they're lying. It's just politics. Deny everything. It works in the legal system. Even in legal systems, the recommendations from their lawyer will be to just never admit, always deny. So anyways, this was funny. It was also kind of symbolic of the times that we're living in. Conflict, war, political gamesmanship, as I just mentioned about 4 videos ago, on the whole Sinomine power metals and Ottawa pulling back on Chinese investment, state-owned companies, blah-de-da, and then selling over to win some resources in Australia, which also may have Chinese influence, but thankfully Australia now has come to become quite assertive on its own economic independence from China, so it's nice. Okay, clear sign that Russia will keep downing American drones by the pro-Kremlin, and apparently the populace is quite supportive of stuff like that. No, tough times. Bye-bye, CP24. So now we're left with a bunch of content here that we want to react to, but most likely will not get to. And being here on the side, I actually can close this Patreon. Yeah, I can. And the reason why is I realized, well, should I close it though? Or should I leave it? Because there's a Patreon right here. Now, I'm gonna be a little bit careful. Let's maximize this. So what you can see up here is the browser for the Twitch stream. And what I'm going to do is actually close some of these here. So these are basically tabs I opened for research. I was trying to dive into my old email. And the reason why I was trying to dive into my old email is I wanted to figure out if I could find the email specifically tailored and written and then sent for all 3 levels of government regarding the whole power metals takeover from Sinomine. That was about 3, 4, or 5 years ago, and I can't find it in either of the varying different email addresses that are all Gmail related. So I am just going to close it now, one by one. So close that tab, close that tab. One is for an alias, one is for my own personal email. Another one is for a business email, and another one is for this project email. And yet there was yet another email that was for someone else I created, but I may have used his or her email to send that email instead. So there was like, 3 personal emails for business, the project, and personal use, and then 1 email for somebody else I created for them, but suspected that I may have sent the email on their account. But I couldn't find it in any of them. There you have it. Keep playing the music. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Yeah, that's the walk-on playing. I got this evil looking Ohio boss. So let's go over here. Let's grab the blurb and dump it over on Twitch. Come on. They should really be next to each other, honestly. This is the blurb walk-ons. Twitch should stay here. And since TikTok is a reaction, we can also dump it here. So we can organize the tabs a little bit better, for sure. I'll be honest, one of the main reasons why I want it here is just to color code it properly. It's not the smartest thing. You can see that TikTok and Patreon are both black and white icons. And the whole reason why I want the blurb here and the Twitch here is because that's red to magenta over to purple. Finally fading to the black. So I'm color scheming everything, but it also makes sense for sure. And the reason why it makes sense is because the blurb and the Twitch, this is all basically reaction content in addition to my project live streaming content, right? So the TikTok is reaction content, material. The YouTube here is all reaction content. The blurb here and the Twitch and the Patreon are all for uploading live streams and videos related to the project, as well as the very first tab here, which is actually my YouTube video. One last thing before we leave. I'm quite exasperated and tired. I almost want to go to sleep. Actually, I do want to go to sleep. I just can't until I wipe the floor with this. Alright, so I see you are a man of culture as well. I am not, unfortunately. Neckbeard Reactions, creating anime reaction videos. I'm sorry, Neckbeard Reactions, I'm not able to join you in this. I am not a man of culture. Full reactions, anime polls, Discord access, video shoutout, early access, Canadian $6 a month. Become a man of culture, access anime content, full reactions. From a YouTube full version, the reactions coming out this week. Calendar. Patreon only updates, supplementary content like vlogs, recommended videos, extra content from YouTuber bloopers, reaction polls, personal shout out, early access Patreon updates, Patreon shout out, exclusive. And he's got 2 Patreons. Congratulations. Here's his description. If you're wondering why am I here, right? It's not because I actually want to join, clearly. The reason why I'm here is because I was comparing competitors, right? I don't think he's really a competitor for me. But I do know that he creates reactions. We're in totally different niches. If he's talking about neckbeard reactions and talking about man of culture, I am quite different, I guess. We don't really overlap in any way whatsoever when it comes to this. But one thing that we do overlapping is that we both watch shows. So that's pretty strong, Both of us are reactors, and he's a small time one, just like me. He's not like Nicholas Light, who has like 800,000, who's like really well put together. My content not well put together, not well put together, or at least not stuff that really goes and pops off very easily, because I just don't have everything together quite yet. So I want to say, hey, here's another person doing the same thing as I am, and he's further ahead into the game. For sure, he has almost 100 subscribers. He also has a lot more videos out than I do. He's reacted to a lot more shows than I have. And, you know, I wanted to say, hey, here's someone who's just slightly more experienced than I am. Let's see how he's doing. And what can I learn from him and his journey as a creator on this platform on a related but still a tangential sort of niche. So thanks for visiting my Patreon page. No problem, man. Thank you for showing me your page. Potentially supporting my journey. I'm a man of culture. I'm really sure to share it with you through my reactions. I've seen some of his thumbnails. I think he is a man of culture. He's also an anime boomer. At that time that I start this channel, he says, I've only watched 3 animes, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. The trio. I can relate to you. I don't think I'm a boomer, but I'm a boomer in the sense I think that you mean, in that both of us actually didn't catch up with a lot of the shows that we wanted to watch. And we've only kept with mainstream stuff. If it wasn't because of my brother, I literally would have watched only like these 3 plus a few more from Bionics. Just focused so much of my time on adulting, right? Jobs, education, became a very boring person. If you look at my introduction to my channel, I basically go through the whole origin of what I'm doing now. And it's a very similar story that I wouldn't have watched very many things aside from the mainstream. Okay, hopefully you guys can suggest more interesting shows in the future. My goal is to not rip off those who rip you off for those reactions, and for that his reactions will be at a very low price. All $4 supporters will have access to the same privileges. So clearly he's in the States, I think. So his $4 US converts to $6 in Canadian, I think. Privileges with their name at the beginning, at the end of the videos, plus a strong voice via polls to choose the next anime that you watch. Again, we're quite in different niches. I make react content to quite a bunch of different things, and I have a very different position in mind than I guess the general atmosphere that he's giving off, which is a very I think a very niche. He's attacking a very niche sort of reaction. I guess reactions are kind of niche themselves already, and he's going even more niche. Thanks again. So I have no intention of being his competitor. I don't want to. I wish him all the success that he can have. Thanks again for reading all that, and I can't wait to see you here on my socials. Have a nice day. You have a nice day as well. Take care. I wish you all the success. Can we reach double digits as goal? Become Patreon 152 exclusive posts. He has way more posts than I do, right? He's watching Death Note. Okay. And I'm going to basically go to my channel at this point. Patreon Relation Manager. Close this. And we can just directly go to Patreon ourselves. So that's where we're at, and we're just gonna leave it at that. And you can see I only have like about 11 posts or whatever. I have a lot of tags, 111 tags, but nothing else. Fun stuff. Let's move to this side here. And I think that's about it for today. For today's video here. I have covered a lot in this video, a lot more than I should have. But that's because I really wanted to wipe the floor with everything else and only leave the Reddit stuff and mental health oriented stuff, abuse, all that kind of crap, and just Reddit stuff for the next video. Okay, so I think that's it. And we sorted out the tabs properly, so it seems that if we can, we'll move everything here that has to do with production, and we'll do all the administrative stuff. We'll leave it here. One thing I made a mistake is I didn't leave the Google tab open. Unfortunately, Bing can move to the front, to be honest, if we're going to do the FAQs thing. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh no, we don't even need Bing. We just want to read the FAQs. We can do that next time with Reddit alongside. Okay. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in to this really boring episode. Honestly, this is a super chill video. I don't really have a whole lot to say about the down tempo nature of this. This is why I said it's a deadpan reaction channel at times. It's not necessarily the most entertaining if I get into the right stuff. Let's go. Okay, time to name the, why don't we just name the title as is? Right. So the things that we covered today, JKL, is definitely different time. And I believe we covered, what did we cover, guys? Before we end this video. Okay. Story blocks. Right, that was a heavy one. Story blocks. We had the artists, right? The musicians, really, we could say. Musicians, producers, music producers. Story block pricing plans. We covered a different artist, so we got the strings. We got the string arpeggio, and we also had the lo-fi. We had reviews, and then we had the wiki search, I believe. Okay. Not the wiki, we just did the search. No, we tried to search the Wikipedia, but we couldn't find it. Then the second portion of the video, we got quite carried away, right? There was a lot of stuff, but I'm tired. And I wanted to sleep, honestly. And there's a lot there. So we organized, so a lot of part of it was Microsoft, which is the Edge browser. Edge update, sidebar, plus the chatbot, sidebar plus like Bing. Basically the good point. We didn't cover everything yet. If I hover over, it pops up, and you can see that there's also chat, compose, and insights. And I didn't show these, so I'm glad that we're still running this video right now. But you can drop over to compose, and this one's super interesting. Like, it's almost like you have ChatGPT right next to you. What compose allows you to do is basically create your own. Okay, I don't know why it's not showing up, but it should be. You can compose, you can write, advertisement for my 2010 Camry. There's an example. And you can short, medium, long form length, format by paragraph, email, blog post, ideas, blah-de-da, generate a draft. Your AI generated content will be shown here. So you can create all in your browser, and you can have insights. You can see my recent searches related to the investment of power metals. What is an offtake agreement? Microsoft Bing search. What does Chegg, MS Bing now? I don't know. Jeff Thomas, St. Patrick's Day, I don't know. Mom visitors, someone Down syndrome. Besties take their secret beyond the grave. What the hell is all this crap? Official trailer, The Little Mermaid. Oh geez. Spray vegetable fertilizer tool. Good tools. Small rob the car. Okay, anyway. Ray William Johnson? Oh dear. Ray William Johnson? You still here, buddy? The worst passenger on a flight is him. Is that for real? He's still active. I thought he left his channel a long time. What the hell? What's going on? Ray? Did not like that at all. I did not like that at all. Who's in the wrong? Oh, so these are shorts, more internet drama. He's doing shorts. He's doing videos. It's interesting, I can actually tell he's aged. But he's doing well. I mean, look at his shorts. They're so popular. Millions every single time. It's because he's an OG. No, it's not because he's just an OG. He's actually good at it. I gotta say, you know, he's really good at it. Because there are a lot of OGs who don't make it to this point. This guy's been through so many controversies and dramas too. He's just still here. I can't believe it. I never thought that I'd be able to see that his channel is still up and running and is as successful as it really is to this day. Wow. And most of it is not his actual videos. It's his shorts. $8.7 billion. That's how you know he's OG. 2008. This guy. What a classic. Yeah, shorts. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll dive over to here and just making a note that we actually visited his short stuff from Ray William Johnson. I can't believe it. And this video is Ray William Johnson. Who would have thought? I didn't. Right, but we were basically talking about how it provides insights. The Bing here. You can go on Bing and you can, oh, don't do this. No, Bing, no. What is this? There we go. Insights. What is an SLX file? How to open one? What are they talking about? XLSX is just the most up-to-date version of Excel. I see they're doing insights based off of whatever tab I'm on right now. Okay, whatever. Let's wrap this video up. Come on, we can do this. Let's just make note of the fact that another key theme pervasive in this video is that I'm just so tired. Exhaustion. Right? Exhaustion. Exhaustion. Yes. Right, neckbeard reacts. Niche reactor. Let's just be clear. He says he's a cultured, he's an anime cultured reactor. Okay, sure. The sidebar, exploration of AI tools, but it's not just AI. Insights and compose. We just did that right now, compose. Super interesting. We closed our tabs, right? We had weather, local weather, local news, local rain, weather, and Russian news. Russian jets. Oh, Russia downing a drone. I think that's better. Russia drone. It's not really a drone from Russia. It's a drone that's been taken down by Russia, so we'll just say drone Russia. I know we're missing something, but that's a good synopsis of what we did in this particular video, lasting 45 minutes to an hour, I'm pretty sure. I'm tired. Alright guys, I think that's about it. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I think that's about it. Alright. I'm gonna go sleep. Super tired. Again, part of it is just because I didn't leave and didn't get the chance to go get some groceries, so kind of bummed. And then it was raining. But the good news is now we have everything kind of really well sorted out. So over here, let's just get rid of this tab. And Ray William, I guess you'll be someone else I'll be reacting to. Bing, there's some more YouTube content here. Yeah, we'll sort this out in the next video. Thank you for tuning in to the Hour Project one final time. There should probably be an article for this as well. I mean, honestly, this is really important. I might as well just move Bing over here. We have to cover that article. So next, we will have all this stuff here to cover. See you then, later this evening. Hopefully I'll wake up earlier than I did yesterday. The real reason why we failed is because we failed so hard to punch out in any content at all. It's just because we woke up way too late, honestly. Yeah. Peace out.